Huge thank you to the makers of these sexy buttons who are sponsoring my trip out to California so I can attend the Tesla takeover. If you're going to be there, I hope to meet you. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving beta video. My name is Chris, and today we're going out for pretty much the sole purpose of trying to find some trouble spots, some problem spots that full self-driving beta still has around Ann Arbor. Now, most of these were suggested by a viewer via email, so thank you so much for that. I love taking suggestions via email for routes because I can't drive everywhere, I can't find everything. We have a car coming from the left that we're waiting for. Very nice there, and now the Tesla proceeds. Very good. And finding these trouble spots, I like that you send them to me because my Ann Arbor experiences have been pretty good. I've been trying to do new routes. Wow, really nicely moving around all of that. And finding new areas, but my car, the routes I pick for whatever reason, the car does very well. So taking these suggestions from you gives me new areas that you're having problems with that I can take the car to and show people and kind of experience myself. So coming up here, we know it's going to get stuck at this construction. We've had that happen multiple times unless it moves to the left here, which would be the smart move. And nope, it's going to go over here and get stuck. So we'll wait for that. I'm going to wait for this pedestrian. No, you're not. It was thinking about it, but the pedestrian and the car both hesitated, and we ended up proceeding. So I'll just let the car sit here for a second while these cars to our left pass us. There's only one. Then I want to press the accelerator because I know that the car won't go. If I push the accelerator though, nope, it doesn't even, are you going to do it? Okay, so I wasn't pressing the accelerator there. I pressed it up until we got really close to that barrel, and then I let off, and the car did proceed on its own. So moving through, the first thing we're going to come to is a double red light that I actually already showed, but I wanted to try it again just to see where the car will ignore the first set of red lights. So it basically wants to go through a red light because it thinks that there's only one set, and it thinks the first set of red lights is like the train track lights. That's the theory anyway. And then there's some problems with some cycling lanes and things like that. And you know what's interesting about looking at this stuff is Elon Musk, I think just today, was saying, as he says every year, like, oh, I think by the end of the year we're going to have full self-driving. And he specifically said that doesn't need human supervision or you know, whatever the exact quote was. I'll put it up if I got it wrong. But, you know, and he says it's just my prediction. He's like, this is how I feel. Why are we stopping here? Okay. He's like, this is how I feel based off of, you know, the data we have right now. And I mean, to be honest, I believe him. I think he looks at whatever data is coming into Tesla and how the cars are progressing and kind of, you know, extrapolates that and says, hey, we're getting pretty close here to these cars driving themselves. Look how good they're doing. Now, my opinion on that, I'm just one person that uses the system quite a bit, is in terms of normal standard driving with, you know, just normal roads, normal intersections, stop signs and things, the car does very well. And that wasn't always the case. So these days, the car is excellent in normal conditions. Where it starts to fall apart is when you have non-standard things like we're going to look at today, where you have like a double, you know, red light or something. And I wouldn't even call it an edge case. I mean, it's a red light. Just stop at it. Like, you know, however the AI is designed, of course, it doesn't think the exact same way we do, so some things are going to get missed here and there. And that's not me saying Tesla's never going to fix it. I truly believe that eventually this system can become extremely capable in every situation, better than myself, better than any person. I do believe that. But I have a hard time with some other aspects of, you know, redundancy of the hardware and things like that. But, you know, if you really can show that the system is, I don't know, let's say 5 times safer than a person or something, then it gets kind of hard to argue that you shouldn't allow it on the road. Now at this point, again, just all my opinion, I'm just kind of chatting with you here. Full self-driving beta with a human supervising it is safer than a human alone, the average human, I should say. And that makes the road safer overall if people are using the system appropriately, which means, you know, pressing the brake when the car is going to do something wrong, etc. So let me get rid of this here so it won't stop. So this is where we were before. And we have the red light. Unfortunately, we have a car in front of us. Darn it. So we're going to stop with this car. But I did show it in the last video where the Tesla was going to move through this red light right here. I had to press the brake myself and then proceed to that next red light. So I will link that video above if you want to check that out. So as for it being green, it did handle that appropriately this time. There you go. Yep, you're gonna move over a little bit, a little jerky there. Really slow. There's plenty of room here, so Just being a little cautious. No biggie. I think it just thought it was a little tight, but I'm fine with that. So yeah, as Musk continues to say, I mean, he says no supervision. So that means like he thinks by December 2023, I'm going to be in my car sleeping and it's going to drive me to work. Man, I mean, the second I'm legally allowed to do that, I would love to. It's just hard for me to believe. And at the same time, I'd love to be wrong. Tesla is bringing Dojo online this month, is what they said. And, they show a lot of data that if everything goes as planned, we should hopefully see huge, gigantic improvements, huge jumps in full self-driving betas, like amount of miles between safety critical interventions, and also huge jumps in capabilities. Now, the other thing to kind of note about this is we don't know what's going on in the background. It seems like Tesla pushes us out pretty close to cutting edge capabilities as far as they have them. But at the same time, we don't know what they're doing in their simulator. We don't know what software they're running on. So they have employees that actually drive around in Tesla ADAS cars that, push this stuff to the edge, collect way more data than you or I could just by doing a voice report or whatever. And we don't know what those cars are capable of. We don't know how many miles they're going between interventions and disengagements. But if, they're so much far superior to what's on my car, it's kind of like, why wouldn't Tesla just push it out, and give us this safer, more superior version of the software we're already using? I don't know. There's just a lot to kind of speculate and think about here. And Tesla is always they keep everything close to their chest. And it's hard to know until they either Elon announced it on Twitter or they actually push it to our cars. What's going to happen, because something like Actually Smart Summon, he talked about at the end of 2022, and now we're saying it would be there in maybe a month or something. And again, I know these are all kind of aspirational, like hopeful things, like, yeah, that's what we want to do, but you say hopefully in a month and then it's 6-7 months later and it's still not here. I'm not complaining. That's just the fact of the way these things go, where like, oh, we hope or we think it's going to go this way and it just doesn't. I face that in my work a lot too, where it's like, hey, these things are looking really good. We're going to progress with, whatever this project is. And then out of left field, a partner is like, no, we're done. And it's like, what? Everything looks perfect. And now, you don't want to proceed. Like, why is this happening? So Tesla has kind of an advantage there in terms of all their vertical integration. But I'm just kind of rambling on. It's just kind of my thoughts on this whole thing, because the development is astounding. I love full self-driving beta. Whenever I say anything even slightly negative, some people get mad at me, but it's funny because even when blinking yellow is doing good. Even when I say something slightly positive, then people, are like, no, this is total garbage. So I definitely lean more way towards the bullish side of full self-driving, but with kind of realistic, like, expectations of what we can expect in the next 6 months. And it's all based off my personal experience, or mostly based off my personal experience, some from hearing and seeing what other people are experiencing, and then some just what we get directly from Tesla. All of that kind of shapes my thoughts and opinions on what we're going to see in the next 6 months or so. And I think beyond that is just too much can change for anyone to predict. And then if you do, throw Dojo into the mix and you get all this AI kind of stuff going on, you can see these huge leaps in progress. I mean, I can complain about, let's say emergency vehicles. Like, that's not an edge case. Like, what to do if there's an emergency vehicle, right? Well, the Tesla doesn't know what to do. You're going to stop? Okay, nice. So far, all of this is actually being handled pretty well. So I don't know. Hold on, I'm just kind of watching here. Okay, you might as well just go if you're going to pull out this far. Okay, it's just being cautious, but when you get that far out, just finish the move. So when you can have these huge leaps in improvement, so I can complain about, the, say, emergency vehicles. That's the kind of the thing I'm sticking on now. I've had to disengage a few times now because an ambulance is coming up behind me or a cop or whatever, and the car simply doesn't have that ability. It's not that it's doing it wrong, but it's not doing it wrong because it's making a mistake. It's doing it wrong because that's not something it's programmed to do yet. I can get one software update on my car and it can then work perfectly, or work 50% of the time, whereas now it works 0% of the time. So it's hard for any one individual to know for sure what's going to happen in the next 6 months, but that's always kind of like as far out as I'll take my predictions. So in terms of this drive so far, we're supposed to have some problems with the bike lanes back there. I didn't experience anything. I put in the route as best I could. I don't know if maybe I missed something. The car wants to change lanes to the right here. Oh, see, it was going to do it. But then this guy braked too much and it bailed on it, and now it's going to do it. Man, I love lane changes on version 11. I will say version 11 overall, in terms of the way it moves around the world, is so good. I am just like so obsessed with it. But yeah, this drive, I don't know. Like, so far, I haven't done anything. So I think I might have... Did I accidentally press the windshield wipers once? That's totally just habit. I'll try not to do that anymore. But I know I was thinking about doing it. That guy almost... that guy almost ate it on that scooter. All right, well, car's doing very good. Let's let it continue on here and see if it can complete the rest of this drive. So I think maybe this bike lane was supposed to give a problem or something. Let's see. I don't know. That turn was perfect. Couldn't have been any better. All right, here's another problem spot, I believe. I think this blinking yellow is supposed to mess the car up. And nope. Handled perfectly. Very, very good. All right, so here we go. So we're supposed to go... No, left here. So that's good. Oh, you got to stop at that stop line. So a little far ahead. Ooh, and a little rollback. It's hard to tell. I'll put the roof cam up for you. I think we're a little bit over the line, but it's really not that bad in my opinion. But yeah, we did stop farther back here for this left turn. And we'll see if the car can handle it. So we got the green. Obviously, we have to wait for that pickup, and they are blue. Really nice stop line, and obvious that the path is not going to continue. Now the motorcycle or whatever that was is out of the way. Continues perfectly. I don't know. So here's another bike lane, and the car is handling fine. So I don't know what version that the person was on that sent me these. They did send it to me, I think, about 2 weeks ago, maybe more than that. So I was on 4.4 when they sent it. So slowing down a lot for these. That's actually something we've seen in the past as well. I'll report that, because you definitely don't need to slow like that, especially like on a crosswalk. But when you get those thin guardrails, it can do that. Okay, this one I've seen before, and it went right through it. So I do have videos in the past showing that exact yellow light, where it stopped at that yellow light like forever. I basically just waited until somebody pulled up and then I pressed the accelerator. So maybe that's fixed, I don't know, but it handled it perfectly that time. So we'll turn right here, and all of that is really good. Ooh, I would have stopped for that yellow, I think. Oh yeah, I definitely would have stopped for that one. Again, I don't think that's the end of the world. Debate about that one in the comments, because I don't think that was so straightforward. There was definitely time to stop. I'm surprised that the car didn't. All right, so here's one of my complaints. Let's see if the car can do it correctly. We need to get into this left turn lane. Okay, good job. Stop complaining. So the car usually waits for those gaps up there, and I have a route, I should actually film it, that I take often, where it almost always is going to miss the left turn, because it waits for the little legal opening, which, I don't know, it should, but if there's a bunch of cars here, it shouldn't, and it'll just kind of drive past that, and then when the lane is full, it can't get over, so it just continues. But this was handled perfectly. All right, we got the blinking yellow. The car is moving forward. Very nice. So you should get into the intersection and get ready. These cars are like almost coming at us and have to move over, and the Tesla's handling that really well. See all those blue cars? It is waiting for everybody. Probably gonna have to wait all the way to the green, but I kind of love this. It's so much more confidence inspiring with these left turns than it used to be. So we got the green. And takes just a second, but it does take off. So this is the turn in my first ever Ann Arbor drive right there. It just went and tried to like drive into the sidewalk, which is the kind of crazy things Beta used to do. So we don't need to stop here or slow there. But those signs will sometimes make it do that, not always. Nice job moving around those cones with parked vehicles. Very good. And we're gonna have to swing around here. We've done this, I think, once before, so you need to be in that left turn lane there. And it's confused, and it's pretty much stopping. Let's see. Oh no, that's wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. The car's right. So it does not like these little things here. So I'm gonna report that. And I'm going to press the accelerator. Yeah, somebody came up behind me and beeped. I thought we had a little more time, but... so there's another intervention for you. So there we go. We found something. The car messed up. It was stopping, and it didn't need to. And those little signs are definitely a culprit of that. So there is somebody coming. I would probably wait at this point. Oh, you're creep. Sometimes the creep is just... It creeps you out. It's so far out there. But if you look at the roof cam, I'll have that up. Maybe to you, it doesn't look so bad. To me, it's like right on the edge of not too far, but like about to be too far. All right, now finish it up. Just go. Just go. So yeah, those signs mess it up. You don't need to stop there. I've had some people say like, oh, it has a little stop sign on it. That's probably why. Of course, I can't like prove that's why or why not that's happening. But in my opinion, I don't think it's related. It doesn't display a little stop sign. Like if you look at the graphic right here, it's not like displaying a little stop sign. It shows cones. And just like goes really slow next to them sometimes, not always. So I don't know why it's doing it. It's not the end of the world. The slowing is not the end of the world in my opinion, because there could be people there that want to cross. But the stopping, like we just saw, is way, way inappropriate. So now we're going to our last destination here. Sweet. So I want to go to Trader Joe's. This last right turn here, let me zoom in on that for you, is always difficult because you can see you almost have to do a full turnaround. And the car has done it in the past, and it's also failed it in the past. So we will let the car get over here. Getting through downtown might be a little tricky, but then getting there shouldn't be too big of a deal. So interesting, we did stay to the left this time, which is unlike last time, so the car should be able to complete this by itself. Did it learn? Does it remember I was just over there and got stuck? No, I don't think so, but nice to be on this side so I don't have to intervene. Turn signal, what is this about? Why does it have a right turn signal on right now? Are you serious? So that's one of the things, like, again, not the end of the world, but how hard is a turn signal to put on the left turn signal when you're going to turn left? It's just like kind of silly at this point. Look at that path. Are you kidding me? That's so funny. It's not going to go, so it really doesn't matter, but it's just funny to see it plan things like that. Hey, it used to stop at that stop sign and now it's not. I can't say it's fixed for sure, but it's been a long time since it correctly used that stop sign, so nice to see. All right, so here we go. We're about to have our right turn coming up, starting to slow down. So that whole stretch, the car did everything like perfectly. And that's kind of what, you know, I'm talking about when you talk about more like normal. Okay, where's your turn signal? Holy crap, you didn't use it till we were already turning. That was stupid. But wow, was that turn really good. That whole stretch was completely 100% done by the car. And when you're in these less complicated scenarios, I would love it if you would just go. And why are we sitting on the yellow line over here? There's really no point in me doing much of the driving anymore in those like more simple scenarios. The car just does everything so well, so confidently, and it can always be looking in a bunch of different directions that I can't do. So that's where I really, really am appreciating FSD beta, and then more complicated situations, if I'm in a hurry or something, I'll take over, but it often can complete those as well. So you're gonna need to go here. Why are you so far back? Oh boy. This is gonna take a long time, and this person turning left is not gonna be happy, but that's not my problem. All right, let's fast forward through this traffic. Not happy with the turning speed of the guy going into the parking lot. And it's getting ready. You can do it? Okay, all right. Very nice, very nice. So that human was honking at this blue guy. I guess he turned too slowly into the parking lot. So very nice. I mean, that's my drive. I don't know. So we tripped it up twice. It got stuck with those cones, and then it got stuck with the little warning pedestrian signs. And the only two mistakes were the car slowed to a stop and didn't want to go because it wasn't sure. So not dangerous at all. Car handled still pretty much the whole drive. Let me check my miles here, and you can see the stats. We're at 8 miles, and I need to take over because that's the end. Yeah, so that's it. Pretty good stuff. I'm enjoying beta. I was hoping for more mistakes there, but the car has kind of outwitted me again in terms of doing well when I thought it was going to have a problem. So hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any suggestions for me to screw, I do have some stuff still that I'm planning, but if you have some ways you want me to screw up the car, please let me know. That's what we need to find, is the edge cases and mistakes that are still being made. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. You will see me and FSD Beta in the next video.